It appears to us that the DSS has lost focus of its constitutional and statutory responsibility mandate. The DSS was formed to look at internal security, to handle matters that borders on internal security, terrorism. Before now, they told us that Emefiele has cases to answer on matters that have to do with terrorism. We expected that the charges will reflect terrorism count charges. Unfortunately, or surprisingly, what we saw was matters bordering on procurement, that he gave contract for the award of land cruisers. Gentlemen, this is a charade. This is a charade. This is making mockery of prosecution. We can't take this. The DSS, what they are doing is forum shopping. This is an organization that appears to us has outlived its usefulness in this country. We want to call on the president. We call on the president to review the modus operandi of the SSS. It appears that they have lost focus. They have indeed lost focus. We call on the newly appointed Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi. We watched him on the day he was screened before the Senate. We saw the way he articulated some of the things he's going to do, which include reforms, and he condemned the executive rascality, the rascality of the DSS. This is the time for him to act. The DSS is no longer the DSS that was formed as at the time it was formed. They have lost focus, and we call on well-meaning Nigerians to ensure that the DSS stick to its mandate or otherwise be scrapped. And that is our position today. We are here today at the FCT High Court. Today, the 16th day of August 2023, to witness the arraignment of the former CBN governor. You will recall that on the 25th of July 2023, we were in Lagos at the Ikoyi Federal High Court, where the DSS arraigned the former CBN governor on a 2-count charge bordering on illegal possession of firearm. We condemned that arraignment. Fortunately, the court granted bail to Emefiele, and you saw the show of shame that took place in the court on that day. We condemned the arraignment. We condemned the 2-count charge that borders on illegal possession of firearm, and we told you that the gun itself is a Dane gun, and I think they have gone back to look at the charge that they filed. They preferred against Emefiele, and they realized that they have really goofed. Today, they arraigned him. They wanted to arraign him today on a 20-count charge, bordering on procurement. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to really look at this very, very well.
Ab initio, you know, all this charade, all of them started in December, when the DSS sought to obtain a black market expert application at the Federal High Court, and they were vehemently refused by the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, where they framed Emefiele up for financing terrorism and what they called financial crime of national security dimension. All this charade started in December, and the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court refused that black market application. And from there to when he was arrested, after 40 days and after several court orders, they filed a charge of parading Dane gun. And now they have gone to withdraw that, and now they say he procured the XUV, Land Cruiser. As if the DSS, they don't have Land Cruiser. Have them, do they follow procurement law in procuring their own Land Cruiser? The DSS, are they riding on bicycle and Okada? Don't they have Land Cruiser? Don't they have Hiluxes? Have they made public? Are they a public institution established by law? Have they ever made public their own procurement? How they procure their Land Cruiser? How they procure their Hiluxes, the operational vehicle? It's only CBN that procured the Emefiele that procured the operational vehicle and the SUVs. The DSS should lead by example. Let them give us audited account of their own procurement, of their SUV, of their bulletproof vehicles. See, Abidusho, we've said that this thing is political vendetta, and the director of DSS should not be a politically motivated director. That is why we are telling Tinubu to remove him. This man will kill your government. This man will give a stamp of illegality and lawlessness to this Tinubu administration. Abidusho, his appointment was or standing on illegality because he has retired. Buhari, in his characteristic manner of doing illegality, brought him back to superintend over that agency for more than 8 years. He's still there. He have outstayed his usefulness. He should go. Honorably resign, or Tinubu should disgracefully remove him. More than 8 years of illegally occupying the office of the director of DSS, you are causing all this embarrassment from going to seek export application, black market, which was refused by the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, to parading them gone, charge filed in Lagos, to now for procurement SUG vehicle. If they want to prosecute Emefiele on issues bordering on his office as CBN governor, they should know that the president, former president Buhari, gave approval to every single thing he did as the CBN governor. Then they should make Buhari the first defendant, Emefiele the second defendant. Then they bring other defendants. Bring in Buhari. He's no longer covered by immunity. He gave approval to all Emefiele's actions and inactions. Bring Buhari as the first defendant, Emefiele as second defendant, and whichever company want to parade. If you want to charge him on issues bordering on performing the functions of the governor of the CBN, not this issue of financing terrorism, then gone. Now procurement of SUV vehicle. DSS, are you riding on Okada? Don't you have SUV? Are you riding on bicycle? Don't you have Hiluxes? Don't you have SUV vehicles? Show us your own procurement. Which companies procure your vehicles? Let us compare them. The prices you procure your own SUV and the prices Emefiele procure this. Let us compare and know whose is cheaper. The DSS should live by that example. We are challenging them. Make public your procurement, all the SUV vehicles you have in your garage. Show us the company that procured them. Let us compare the price and that of Emefiele. That's what we are saying. Rule of law must be entrenched in this country. And we will continue to talk.
I want to take this from a different perspective. Outside what my colleagues have said, that the DSS does not have the power to investigate and file a charge as regards issue of procurement, award of contract, and all that. There are Supreme Court authorities from DSS to versus Agbakoba to the Federal High Court decision in Austin versus DSS, that the DSS do not have the power to investigate or file any charge against any Nigerian on issue of fraud. And if you even look at the bogus charge that they filed before this court, you will find out that if you consider the number of vehicles that they are alleging that were procured, if you do the math and divide it into the number of vehicles, you'll find out that the so-called Land Cruiser comes down to about 22 million, which is even below the market value today. So I don't know where they are getting their information from. If this is not just mere political vendetta, I don't know what it is. So we are faced with another bogus charge that will go nowhere. What DSS do every day is, from the time of Buhari, is that instead of allowing the agency saddled with responsibility to investigate issues of fraud like the police or the EFCC, they jump into the fray and destroy the matter. And that is what they have done here. The entire investigation will be set aside finally by the court because they do not have the power to carry out such investigation in the first place. And the prosecution that they are carrying out today is of no moment. In fact, at the last adjournment, when we were at Lagos, we discovered that the charge that was filed was even incompetent, because it was signed by an incompetent authority. So this is just a bravado. This is just a bravado. And today, if you are in court, you will find out that today in court, the DSS has told us that they could not produce the second defender because she fell ill this morning. That's the most useless reason I've ever seen. It's very ridiculous, and all they want to do is to continue to keep the man there. So if we are serious in Nigeria, if we are serious in fighting corruption, if we are serious as a government, the government of President Bola Tinubu should be serious, and the first thing to do is as I have always said, reform the SSS. After the reformation of the SSS, we refocus the SSS. And the first thing you do in order to reform the SSS is to sack Bichi. The first thing you do is to sack him because he cannot be there. And the reformation of that organization will take place. He should go home. In fact, I do not know if as we contest it, that man is not even qualified to be there in the first place. And we are here talking about a man who is not qualified to head an office, heading an investigation of this nature. If it's bizarre to say the least. That's why we keep on in this country making a mess of Nigeria's name in the international community. We should stop that.
Now, the matter was meant for arraignment this morning, but two things played out, which clearly showed that the complainant itself was not ready for the arraignment. The second defendant was not made available. The second defendant was not in court. And it is right that all the defendants in the charge must be present to take their plea. And consequently, the complainant on its own requested for an adjournment for the arraignment to be done at a later date. And so we didn't oppose that application. The arraignment will now come up on Wednesday, 23rd of this month, Wednesday 23rd. That's exactly what happened.
Did you say that the prosecution was not ready for the case?
What?
Did you say that the prosecution
all the defendants were not available in
Yes,
court?
all the defendants were not available
In court?
in court this morning. And as a consequence, the arraignment couldn't go on.
You prompted an adjournment?
But you are ready to defend your client?
Of course, that's why we are here. We are ready. Don't forget that his presumption of innocence stands until any pronouncement is made by the court of law. He's presumed innocent. We are ready. Whenever we are called upon, we'll be there for him.
We understand that there are 20 charges. Can you tell us some of those charges?
Unfortunately, we are yet to see those charges. We've been served, but we are yet to read it. Our client was served late last night, and you'll agree with us that there's no way between last night and this morning that we will have digested the charge. So we'll go through it and give the appropriate advice to our clients.